And in your eyes, you hope you'll see the dream come true. Glory land, in glory land, it's in your heart, it's in your hands. Glory land, hey, glory land, you're here.
Awaited games in the World Cup so far is about to take place here in San Francisco. It's the Cameroon versus Brazil. The sort of crowds that have been gathering to watch the Brazilians in training this week would rival some of the attendances in the lower leagues in England. Fans and players alike were in relaxed mood after the victory against Russia a few days ago. Brazil are now favourites to win the group.
It was good for the Brazilian team. Things are cooled down now. The players will get more confidence. This game for me was the most difficult one. Why? Because for a month we were just training without any game competition. This one was the first one against a Russian team who was determined not to allow the Brazil to play, and then winning very comfortable.
Brazil have lost skipper Ricardo Rocha, but with replacements like LDR, the team shouldn't suffer too much disruption. However, there's only celebration along with a touch of emotion for Leonardo, as he's shown via satellite the face of the family's new arrival.
I'm very happy. Yesterday he won, and it's very important to me, this moment, this day. I will never forget, because I'm here doing what I always want, to play in the World Cup, and then my son appeared in this moment. It's very important to me.
In the Cameroon camp, there's a much more sombre mood. The scenic location belies the reported unhappiness of the players. Recent events have highlighted growing tension between the players and their officials over non-payment of promised bonuses, a situation that has caused the Cameroon Director of Finance to fly to the United States, leaving manager Henri Michel in a very difficult position.
Il y a encore des problèmes qui ne sont pas réglés, des problèmes de primes de match, c'est souvent des problèmes d'argent.
The financial problem may still exist, but the prospect of them not facing Brazil today is simply out of the question. Emile Mbu, their tenacious midfielder, has no doubt about his intentions. He has only one thing on his mind.
Brazil, you said it's a dream, and we are going to make that dream real. And we are going to fight and to have a good result, because I think this result may push the Cameroon to the second round.
Every team has its star attraction, and it would appear from the attention paid to Oman Biek that the Cameroon are no exception.
Mais écoutez, on prépare une surprise au Brésil et tout le monde le verra vendredi.
They are preparing a surprise for Brazil, and everybody will see it on Friday.
But what's the view of the maestro? Does he think that Cameroon have the players to shock Brazil?
Cameroon has almost the same style of Brazil. I think they have more skillful players, more intelligent players. They play faster than Russian, and I think it will be a tough game for Brazil.
You played in one of the greatest World Cup teams of all time in 1970. Are there any similarities between the team that played then and the team that's playing at the moment?
Yeah, as I told you, there's a lot of a difference, because the players are different. We had more offensive players, because that time, even if you play defensively, because we play all back, but we have a Jorginho, have a Gerson, have a Tostão, have a Rivelino, all Pelé, all offensive players. Now, in this team, in this formation, we have only Romário and the Bebeto forward. The rest of the team play back. Then this is different, way to play.
Do you think that this Brazilian team can actually win the tournament this year?
Oh, I hope so. It's hard to say, because we have a lot of surprise in this World Cup. We start with the surprise, because nobody expected Italy lost for Ireland, and Italy lost. Then Colombia was the best team in South America. They beat Brazil, they beat Argentina, 5-0 in Argentina. Then they come to the World Cup, they didn't play well. We have a lot of surprises. Very hard to say who's going to win the World Cup. But I hope Brazil will be in the final.
Edson Arantes de Nascimento, Pelé, the famous Pelé. Now there's the table as it stands at the moment. We're all very much looking forward to this one. Brazil against Cameroon, and we're going live now to San Francisco, where we'll join Trevor Brooking and Barry Davis. They're on the anthems at the moment. You'll hear from our chap shortly.
Welcome to the campus of Stanford University, where the Brazilians are hoping to graduate with honors. By a Mexican, Arturo Pablo Bricio Carter, who took charge of the opening match of this 15th World Cup in Chicago. Incidentally, 5 yellow cards there and 1 sending off. A tally not yet matched elsewhere. Just 1 change in the Brazilian team from that which started against the Russians. Aldair, who came on as a substitute, played the last 22 minutes of that game in place of Ricardo Rocha, continues in his stead. Romario, who scored the opening goal for them with a stab shot. Referee waiting for his cue from Graham Kelly, Chief Executive of the Football Association, acting here in his FIFA role. And away we go on a warm afternoon, but they haven't had the temperatures here that others have had to contend with. And they're here. Early one on, could be useful. 3 in the middle. And the referee indicates the dive, gives the goal kick. Zinho gets to his feet. And I just had the slightest feeling that he and the official didn't quite see that in the same manner.
I think it was a reckless challenge myself. I've seen him giving to Leonardo a good ball early. Zinho running at the defender, and he just pulled out. I think Zinho is looking at it, but just as well the ref was that close.
It was Young Song. Henri Michel found a suitable French expression to sum up what he thought about all that.
He's a stupid booking to have collected it. It stands up. It's one of those that the Cameroons might well appeal again, because he might have said, well, I was trying to get play going and it was too sore, and so he hopped off the field. But the yellow card was definitely shown, and so that could be a little bit of an awkward one, particularly when he's a key defender if he picks up another card.
Coin of Ireland got one when he had a bang in the eye. Here's Romario with the first chance of the match, and he scores. His second goal of the championship. A simple break. The atmosphere changes. The celebration is mirrored all around the ground as well as on the bench and on the field. 39 minutes gone, and Brazil take the lead. And one wonders how much of that is down to the fact that Cameroon had not reorganized their defense after the return of Kala.
Took it well, didn't he? Got away from 3 defenders. He's so strong, not going to be pulled back. A little toe ender, pass spelled, Dunga it was, outside of the right foot. Look, he picks him out. Just got the wrong side of Mabu. He can't get back. And we've got our goal that we were asking for.
The drums have found a tone. Well, the Brazilian music of football fun.
Again,
Dunga
looking, Dunga looking for that space. I don't think he was offside.
Was there a hint of offside?
He plays along the line of offside all the time, Des, and there's several times he's been offside and he's got the verdict on that one situation. It's a nice ball played through, not cleared him through. He's had to deal with it under pressure with a guy right on his shoulder.
I think that's what they were.
And the central defender.
Did you see the push? Did you see him push there? I think that's why the Cameroons were complaining about it. Just watch the push with his right arm. Look, he says, get away a bit. Mind you, I wouldn't have given that as a foul myself.
The man whose goal divides the teams, if you've joined us a little late, Romario, one of Johan Cruyff's men at Barcelona. Disappointing in the European Cup final, but having scored 2 already in the World Cup finals. Dunga trying to find Romario right at the beginning. Significantly, the linesman's flag did not go up for offside. Got in behind, but it was cleared. This is Mfede. Song. Seen comfortably by Leonardo, who chases down the flank. Cala sets it up with Bell. Seen well by Marcio Santos. Referee plays a good advantage. It's collected by Bebeto, but he can't play an advantage there. And it's a red card for that challenge against Young Song. The teenager is dismissed. And memories come back, but there was another side to the character in 1990, as we saw in the opening game when 2 players went off. But Song taking Bebeto out was the referee's view. First challenge, he played an advantage, and second challenge, the ball had been played away. Song played the man and will play no more.
Well, Bebeto just sucking him in there, isn't it? Look, come and make the challenge. He knew he was going to dive in, and Song did it 2 or 3 times in the first half, and well, it's a great test now, isn't it, for the youngster as he walks off. But that probably is Cameroon's chance going now. I can't see them with Brazilian sort of got an extra man. I'm sure they will make it tell, although of course one man who, I suppose from a fairy tale point of view, could be the man who's going to probably come on now will be Roger Miller.
Substitutions in this World Cup, you can change 2 outfield players and the goalkeeper. Bell in trouble! Marcio Santos makes it 2. Hit cross, comfortable header. Joseph Antoine Bell never looking like he was going to cut it out, and there wasn't much cover in front of him. 2 in the first game for Brazil, 2 in the second. Dunga, side foot across with pace by Bebeto. Tato arrived too late. Brazil lead 2-0.
Well, the market have all got dragged to the near post. Tato suddenly sees the danger too late, and as Marcio Santos scores a second, you have a feeling now with a few of the old thrills and flamboyance might well come out for Brazil. And once Song went off, man short.
And a red on occasions. And it is an accumulative problem for the player about to depart. Here's Bebeto. Still Bebeto. Romario. Bebeto unselfish. Romario just a touch inaccurate.
Lost their discipline now, Cameroon. They're diving into balls, whereas before they were holding up play. Bebeto does exceptionally well. They're set out. Romario should have got the third goal. Pushed himself up in the, of course, goal-scoring stakes to be the top goal scorer in this World Cup. But there, look, quick look, square, just drags it wider than near post.
Very unselfish play by Manu. I'm sure desperately wants to get on the scoring stakes. Free kick given towards goal rather than away from it initially. It's in to Bebeto. Well played, Bell.
It was a great free kick, wasn't it? I mean, everyone thinks you're just playing it to the side and going to have a shot. And it was a little dink over the wall. Look, play it to the side, have the shot. No, I won't. I'll chip it over the wall. And they all went to sleep. And keeper did well to just...
Boo. Another look at the flick by Dunga. Cross. Marcio Santos getting the second. Good diving header. Real chance. There's a chance for another. Good save by Bell once more, denying Romario. But the follow-up. Here's the first goal of these championships for Bebeto of La Coruña. Look at the delight on Bebeto's face. Romario away from Cala. Goalkeeper did well. And Bebeto squeezes it home. And the music is all samba.
Do him a lot of good, Bebeto. I thought he had an excellent 10 minutes since the second goal. He was one of those that joined in the little tricks, the back heels, and now to have actually got on the score sheet alongside his striking partner Romario. It does set up Brazil now, you feel, for the rest of this tournament. They're going to take a good...
Romario. Brazil starting uncertainly, finish with aplomb and a 3-goal victory, assisted to some extent by their opponents. But as Trevor Booking just said, no one will want to meet them in the last 16. A hugely enjoyable performance in the end, and Brazil qualify for the second stage.
Well, someone's going to meet them in the last 16 because they're the first of the countries in these finals to make sure of going through to the knockout stages, and everybody's pleased that Brazil are there, very much so.
It's Marcio Santos' goal from a header, a little feint there, looked to the left, played it out to the right, and that's Jorginho's cross, and Santos puts it there in the end. Yeah.
Dunga just plays. You see that disguise? They look one way and pass it the other. They're doing that a lot now. First time ball in, and the central defenders come from nowhere, the length of the field, to finish it off.
Almost cheating, isn't it? That looking one way. I mean,
you've got to do well to move the ball without looking at it.
Imagine that comes a deception.
It's top quality. The ball got drawn as Trevor said in the near post. Big hole appears there, and he comes right through the middle. So
well, Santos plays his football in France. Now, Bebeto goal, he plays his football in Spain, doesn't he?
We felt he's been needing a goal, and the ball runs out to him from the angle, and hungrily he goes in and says, anybody can put it in from that angle, and I can assure you it's not as easy as it looks. He only had about 1.5 yards of goal to squeeze it in.
He's nearly on it again running along the line of offside, very narrow angle, but as you said, he needs that badly. He's been playing very well, but it's nothing like getting a goal. at that particular time, so that he can be on par
Goalkeeper's
with
done well. He hasn't given him any goals. Bell, he played very well. They weren't thrown away.
Deciding who'll finish first and second in the group. This report from Tony Francis.
Older and greyer, but as enthusiastic as ever as he reminisces about Sweden 1958. This is Mario Zagallo, who scored one of the goals in Brazil's breathtaking 5-2 win over the host nation. It was the first time Brazil ever won the World Cup, and a 17-year-old called Edson Arantes do Nascimento, Pelé, announced his arrival. Football would never be quite the same again.
If you don't have Pelé, Garrincha, Rivelino, Jess, you cannot play the same kind of football which they played. You only play that kind of game if you have those players.
What he does have in Bebeto and Romario is the most deadly strike force in the world. Romario's the Viper, 30 goals in his first season with Barcelona and 2 more so far in this competition. Only when he returned to the national side after a 9-month ban for prima donna indiscipline did Brazil begin to click.
Everybody expects Romario behaving very good. He's behaving very good so far in the national team. Thanks God he is with us, not with the other teams. Romario is a problem for the other team, not for me.
Strange to relate, Sweden have a black pearl as well. Martin Dahlin, half Venezuelan, half Scandinavian, exploded into action against Russia, but he's denied Everton fans the joy of watching him by turning down their offer today. Although a yellow card rules him out against Brazil, he believes the job's done.
And I think to win over Russia is more important than to win over Brazil.
Brazil don't frighten you?
They frighten me to death here because I've seen them play and it's a very good team.
I know that we can beat Brazil, and I think if we have a little bit of luck and everybody of us is playing at the best level, I think we can reach very far.
Swedes don't snap easily, but then neither will Brazil, who haven't conceded a goal yet and adapted comfortably to America's #1 sport when torrential rain drove them indoors. Tighter at the back they might be, but the romance of 1958 is still there.
They have complete freedom. If any player can pick the ball and dribble all 11 opponents and score the goal, I'll kiss him 100 times.
Surprising after 2 wins in a row, no goals conceded, and everything looking good for the team rated 4-1 favourites for this tournament. The Swedes, well, they're forced to make a change. Dahlin is out, suspended. Larsson comes in his place. Right, now let's cross to Trevor Francis and Brian Moore.
Thanks a lot, Matthew. We're indoors now. It's samba time here. The enduring skills and the charms of the Brazilian footballers and their players are here. But don't underestimate Sweden. They feel they've got a good spirit. They've got good players to go with it. I fancy we're going to have one of the outstanding games of the tournament so far. Although both, of course, have qualified already, they both, would very much like to win this group, get themselves off to the West Coast. Possibility of a game against the USA in the knockout stage. But certainly Brazil, they know only one way to play, and that's with entertainment and with flair and with plenty of attack. Trevor Francis, looking forward to this?
Very much so, yes. We all wondered before the match whether Brazil would experiment, but their intentions are quite clear. They put their strongest team out today. They're looking for victory.
Brazil today in blue shirts and white shorts. I always feel they never seem quite the same potent force in anything other than those famous yellow shirts. But of course the Swedes also wear yellow, and no doubt they've won the toss, and that's why they are in their traditional shirts today. There's Thomas Brolin. We had a little look at him. It looks as though number 19 Kenneth Anderson will be up front with Brolin. Brolin's gone forward straight away. They're missing, as we were saying earlier, Martin Dahlin, who was suspended, 2 yellow cards. Certainly Brazil steaming ahead. 6 points out of 6 in Group B here. Wins over Russia and the Cameroons. And
on and off the field. It's a big loss to Sheffield Wednesday. But we felt that, due to the fact that his family wanted to go back, it was only right that we allowed him to cancel his contract.
Here's Romario. Bebeto's in the middle. Rai is in the middle. Romario again, not to be denied, but it was Cormac who got it away. Up to Brolin. Took a bit of a buffeting there, but he's a tough little man, is Brolin. Gets it now to Anderson. And a goal for Sweden! Kenneth Anderson! The first goal the Brazilians have conceded in this World Cup, and one that was beautifully fashioned. not least by the work of Brolin and the excellent finishing of Kenneth Anderson. 1-0 Sweden. Wow.
Well, that's the first real attempt we've had on goal, and it was a tremendous goal. Brolin played his part, held off, strong challenge, played a delightful ball as Anderson peeled off. There was great control from Anderson, got the shot in early. There you see it now, lovely little chip. Anderson, one touch on his chest, flick with the outside of his foot. Gives Taffarel no chance.
There we go again. Brolin's work, a beautiful flick. There haven't technically been many better goals than that in this World Cup. And surprise, surprise, it's put Sweden ahead. Well, Trevor and I were saying at the start, don't underestimate them.
I'm sure Tommy Svensson, the Sweden manager, won't mind that too much, because throughout this competition, Ravelli's looked a very, very capable goalkeeper.
Bit of space now for Zinho to work. They're working hard too. Romario with a shot, just wide. Good stuff, isn't it?
Yes, it is. You see Romario there, he comes off his marker, Patrick Anderson, finds himself a little bit of space, cracks it with his right foot. Unfortunately for him, just past the far post.
Great pass from Brolin. Anderson makes a good angle. But what beats the goalkeeper is the early shot with the outside of the right foot. And Taffarel's got no chance whatsoever. Now we can see it from behind the goal now, and Brolin does ever so well. He great body strength, holds off to the Brazilian defender. As Anderson pulls away, we'll get a better shot now of how early he takes the ball. There he goes, and Taffarel can't set himself, can't get across the goal, and the ball's in the side of the net. Absolutely super goal, and they've done very well.
Zinho is on, number 17, and looking around these blue shirts, we can't see anybody wearing the number 15 of Marcio Santos. Oh yes, he's there. So we'll have to have a look around a little later on to see who has gone. But at the moment, the Swedes are leading by a goal to nil. As they get the ball not back to Taffarel, but to the number 15, Marcio Santos. Dunga, who's dropped a little deeper there now. Here's Mazinho, who's come on. It's Mauro Silva, who's gone off. Leonardo. Zinho. Cross towards Romario. Jorginho coming in very quickly, but Ingertson just getting there before him. Kenneth Anderson finding Brolin, a little touch by him. Anderson couldn't keep it going for Sweden though. Turn, he's done a terrific amount of work in that midfield and a real good captain's job as Kenneth Anderson's caught offside.
Yes, they've obviously got to get back into the game, and they've got a more adventurous lineup now.
Well, Edström there, one of the great former Swedish players. Here's a good break, and it did go! It's 1-1. A super goal from a terrific player, and what a great run, and an almost arrogant flick with the outside of the boot. Wide of Ravelli, and that's tied the score up at 1-1. A terrific goal. We wondered how they would react. We wondered whether their heads would go down. Ladies and gentlemen, you've got your answer.
What another wonderful finisher.
Dunga. The real workhorse is Dunga through those midfield and now defensive areas. Rai, Mazinho just nicked the ball away. Romario's waiting. And it's just saved that time by Ravelli, sticking out a foot and denying the amazing Romario a second goal. What a lovely little flick through, taken nicely in his stride, and there's Ravelli's stop, and the Brazilians are denied.
Yes, Sweden were lucky to get away with that. Roland Nielsen faced with 2 against 1 at the back post, Zinho point of view. But he's done a great job for the team defensively, because what he has done, he's filled in on that right-hand side, and he's stopped them forward runs of Leonardo. He's done a great job for the team.
Oh, this is going to be one. Well, I thought that was going to be one for Romario. That was a dreadful mistake by Patrick Anderson. ex-viewing.
Yes, he does. He's an excellent player. I've been very, very impressed in the 2 games I've watched him.
Here's Bebeto. Oh, a lovely little ball by him. And Romario chasing after it. Jorginho with the shot. Goal kick to Sweden.
Yes, Berlin tends to play.
To be fair, they've qualified comfortably enough without him. As the Hungarian whistle blows for time, the Hungarian referee blows for time, and it is a 1-1 scoreline. It's an excellent exhibition again of technical skills, with Kenneth Anderson having scored that superb goal in the first half to put Sweden in the lead, and little Romario, who else, with equal skills, made it 1-1 right at the start of the second half. The final score then here in the Pontiac Silverdome, it's Sweden 1, Brazil 1.
Now the ball's actually passed forward to him, and he's on the edge of the penalty box and coming in. And it's the earliness of the shot. The goalkeeper, is very difficult for goalkeepers to set themselves for those early shots. Here we see it from behind now. Initially we thought it was the outside of the right foot, and Trevor put us right. It is in actual fact a toe poke, and he just toe pokes it into the side netting. A really first-class goal from obviously a world-class striker. There he goes. Little toe poke into the far side. Ravelli had a super game actually. He took some good crosses and made some good saves, but there was no stopping that one.
Toe pokes were the only thing I knew how to do, Don. But
squeezes in again, down the left-hand side of the box. The ball's played into him. He's pulled away there, looking to a great position. And Ravelli does well here. He makes a Pat Jennings type save. Pat was brilliant at that, Pat Jennings. If you can't get down as a goalkeeper, you
definite. In Group A, Romania, Switzerland and the Americans. Group B, Brazil and Sweden. Group C, Germany and Spain. Group D, Argentina definitely through. And in Group E, Mexico, the Republic of Ireland and Italy. And in Group F, Belgium. Now that...
And Romario strikes for Brazil. Dunker's won it well now, and that is a telling ball. This could be the first one. It's Romario's goal.